Hello, friends of ACE. It has been Brigadier Bambera week, and thank you to Aaron for hosting such a brilliant week full of all sorts of little treats and surprises. And we have one more up our sleeve for you today. Hello, Angela. How are you?
Hello. Nice to see you again, Sweet Pea. Lovely to see you. I'm very well, thank you very much. And thank you for inviting me for doing this. It's lovely.
Honestly, the invite's always welcome. It's always lovely to chat with you. Let me explain. So, Friends of ACE is set up by the wonderful Aaron. You can find him on Twitter as well. But Friends of ACE is, of course, a play on the fact that her name is Dorothy. So, it's the Friends of Dorothy. It took me a little while to get it. I have to say, I'm a slightly older man than I once was.
I had no idea what you were talking about.
No, so it's lovely. It's set up to be a very inclusive LGBTQ plus Twitter and online space for Doctor Who fans who either identify in that way or happen to be an ally. And this week has featured a lot of love for your wonderful character, Brigadier Bambera.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I didn't even know this was going on. How sweet.
Here we are, and that's hence thank you for having a chat with me today. One thing I'll start with this because it made me smile. I saw this one. It's some fan art. There's been a lot of fan art. People love creating images and pictures. This one I thought was rather inventive. Someone has made, it's a top trumps card for for Bambera. So do you want to say, I'm going to see if you can guess her scores. So I'm guessing they're out of 100, otherwise she's scoring very low.
Okay.
So out of 100, well, we know the first one's a fact. Her episode count, you did 4 episodes. This much we know.
Yes.
Fear factor. What do you think Brigadier Bambera's fear factor out of 100 might be?
Oh, 92.
I think you might think she's scarier than she is. This particular card gives her a fear factor of 25. I think because deep down we know she's a lovable character.
She's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
What did you want to bring? I mean, I don't think she's a terribly terrifying character, except maybe when she's running around with a sword. How did you go about deciding what you were going to bring to the character?
Well, it's a funny old thing. They always say actors, and I never classed myself as an actor because I came in through catering, but actors used to say, whatever you put on, you know, your clothes, your costume. And I used to laugh. But actually, as soon as I put on that uniform and the boots, I came out of wardrobe and I was shouting. I mean, you just raise your voice. And when I saw the reaction I got from the crew, apart from bursting into giggles afterwards, that I had, because of theatre training, that booming voice, I realised that the part that was then created, the character was created right there with what she's wearing. There's no way she can be anything else but that huge, loud. In fact, actually, it's not too far from myself. Yeah, that's right. No, I just played myself.
I think she's very lovable, but perhaps slightly more aggressive than you, I have to say. Mind you, I haven't seen you playing tennis, so maybe that's maybe that's your substitute sword.
That's it. I channel Serena Williams when I play tennis.
That's very good. That's very good. Okay, let's go on to the next category on this top trumps card. Out of 100, what do you think for brains? Brains.
Not the brightest. Not the brightest. She's she's loud. She's destructive, but actually I don't think she works things out. I think the doctor probably saved her bacon more than once. I'd say 43%.
Oh, yeah, you're doing her a disservice there. 60.
Oh, thank you. Well,
I think that's probably fair. She's quite a good planner, a strategist, maybe.
Well, I suppose she runs a unit. She runs the unit. So I do apologise, fans. I really did. I thought after the last one where I was completely demolished, I went under, obviously. I chose that. Thank you.
Okay, what about this one then? You talked about the costume.
Yes.
Style. What score do you think she wins for style?
Darling, she's a cutie buttocks. I think she's got to be in the 80s for style, darling.
The style. All she wears is the uniform throughout the whole thing. I mean, it's a stylish
But
uniform.
darling, you know she's a cutie puppet.
I
And
do.
if I
Well, I know
anything
that.
less than that, I mean, that's what I drew my own partner from. That they loved me. She loves me in the uniform. Come on.
Do you still have that uniform?
Of course not.
I love it. I'm going to put you out of your misery. The score for style is 50. I know, right?
Where's the switch? I'm switching it off.
Hey, I didn't make these numbers up. I didn't make these numbers up. But listen, what do you think? I mean, I have thought about it. Maybe that's just me being terribly gay, but I have thought about it. What would she have worn in her downtime? I can't. I've tried to imagine what a night out, because they're going. They talk about it at the end, don't they? Oh, we're going on a night out, and she goes out in a uniform, and I think, I don't. Would she?
I think it would be tailored, whatever it was. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's before Margaret Howell time, but I think it's sort of that, maybe nice, there's lovely sort of sailor baggy type trousers with the flap that comes up and the buttons up. I think that, and a nice sort of, yeah, I think she'd look cool. I should have.
I like that. I think you may have just created the next fan art challenge. I throw that out there to anyone. I need
Yeah.
to see that. I need to see Bambera in casual.
Maybe just like, I've got this one that looks like a woolen sort of string tie I wear with the shirt sometimes, just loose, hanging, black sort of cuts. It's got a sort of a tapered end and just looks cool, just adding a bit of style to a blouse, a Vivienne Westwood or something. I don't know. No idea. Actually, no, I don't get into any Vivienne Westwood because the sizes are too small. But yeah, I think she'd be stylish, but I think she'd be I don't think she'd go in a frock, love.
No, I'm not seeing it. I think you're right. Tailored and stylish. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Now, the final score on here is era impact. So the impact that the character has on the McCoy era.
Ooh.
But bear in mind, there are 3 years here full of really bright, intelligent, well thought out characters. What impact do you think the lovely Bambera had on that era? According, of course, this is only one person's opinion.
Well, I think it would make an opinion impacted because I think it was the only first black. Well, first of all, it was a brigadier, right? A new brigadier, and also it was a black woman running a unit. I would have thought that was quite. If I'm not in the 70s, we're in trouble here. We're gonna. Oh no! Come on.
It's not in the 70s. The card says 40. I think they're gonna reevaluate that in light of what you've just said. Because actually, all joking aside, I mean, there's a joke in the script about the brigadier now being a woman.
Yes.
And she's a black woman. And I mean, Doctor Who, with very rare exceptions here and there in its history up to that point, hadn't featured enormously positive portrayals, if any, of characters who were black. There's one very good one in the Enemy of the World, which surprisingly is a Patrick Troughton black and white, and she's wonderful. Other than that, it's pretty few and far between. So I'd agree with you. I think it's a massive impact. Did you think about the possible impact when you took it on?
Yeah, I mean, I'd done the first speaking part, I think, in Coronation Street. The writer of that was the writer for Me and Angels, and so we knew we were risking a lot. In fact, the producer said, "Do you want armed security?" After when the first episodes were going out. Which was an absolutely ridiculous suggestion, but actually it did make a massive impact. So I thought that Doctor Who would have that. Yeah, I'd hoped it was. I hoped it would mean at that time, which was naive, that more black characters would be introduced. It took a long time with all of the dramas at that time, with all the soaps and things, to actually have a black person in who wasn't regarded as a nurse or a prostitute or basically as there was a guy in, I think it was the street, a black guy who actually never spoke. He was an extra.
Right.
He stood at the end of the bar and he never spoke. So I hope that there would be some sort of impact, but I think it was in relation to the sci-fi people. They don't have that thing of saying, oh, well, this is being politically this, because we're based in our mere existence. We are political.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think that you then make a big rush of a major statement, because that's where we are anyway. And I think Doctor Who is very political in itself, in how it defies all laws.
Yes.
And breaks that mold. So I think, yes, it was just part of that. I think it was, I hoped it would have an impact that would be seen as very futuristic.
I would point out the fact that you and I are here talking about it, let's politely say, a number of years later. Yes. And I think that impact's still being felt. I mean, I really do.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, walking around the street, I'm meeting people who are saying, oh, it's the Brigadier. They're still doing it now, you know, walking around the street. So it has made an impact, you know, and it was one of those cult shows. It is still one of those cult shows. So I don't think I think it's ageless. It's timeless, isn't it?
And of course, a couple of years ago, we had a companion, Bill, black woman, and she's gay.
Exactly.
Unheard of.
Yes.
In years gone by. You know, it's my favorite program, and suddenly this was happening, and I don't think the impact of that at 7 on a Saturday evening can be underestimated. I mean, what were your thoughts when that happened?
It's not before time, really.
Mm.
I mean, it should have automatically have been happening. I think that again, it's one of those that you, as in having a woman doctor now, it's that time. It shouldn't be anything that we actually were talking about. It should be there. Why wasn't it there? And I loved it. I did watch it and just loved that part. I thought it was beautifully played and beautifully written.
Mm.
But I did find in a lot of the, if I remember correctly, some of the visitors to this planet, to Earth, while they were here, were having that gay theme as well. I can't remember which episode.
Mm-hmm.
There was on 2 women that were together a lot.
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
And so why not? It was needed. We did it. It doesn't surprise me that Doctor Who's one of the first to actually do it in those cult flavors. Yeah, it's great, to be applauded. But then again, we should be to a stage now. Like, for instance, when I first came in the business, I came to London. There were 8 black actresses in the what we call Spotlight, the direct actors.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that I should be able to name everyone, every black actor or every person who's played a gay part. It shouldn't be. It should all be quite normal to be in there. Why is it that we have to, you know, it used to be when I first came into the business, I had to explain how I got here. Oh, my mother was from Jamaica and and I said, no, I don't want to do that. I'm here. So it shouldn't be that we're having to explain where that comes. You just are.
Yeah.
You're there. No explanation is needed. You know?
Absolutely. And with something like Doctor Who, you can either choose to tell those stories or not tell that. There's a way of telling that story where actually you don't need to mention a whole heap of backstory. There was no scene where Bill needed to go, by the way, I'm gay, which of course is it's the classic, isn't it? You know, you have a gay character, there must be a coming out scene. Yeah, there was no coming out scene. She came out in the way that a lot of us come out nowadays, which is actually not a conscious choice. You just happen to say, oh, you know, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, and that immediately says, oh, they're gay, they're bi, or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't. And so that felt very, I don't know, to me that felt very natural, that it was just, she was talking to the doctor about this girl she fancied. There was no big hoo-ha. It was just, this is what it is.
Yes, exactly.
A bit more of that, I think. A bit more of that.
So.
It's been lovely to chat, Angela, a quick chat today. But there's a couple of things I need to show you before we go. On that fan art theme, the lovely Aaron who runs and has organised this group, and he's doing a fantastic job, I have to say. Hats off to him. Also is a very talented creator of all sorts of things. I'm going to share my screen with you and show you some of these. Can you see that?
Oh, yes. Now, where did I see that? Somebody sent me that.
This is
amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Yes, I've got that. I saved it on somebody emailed me this. Because I'm not on Twitter or any of those things, or Facebook. I'm not, I determined not to go on them. But I've got this. It's fabulous. Beautiful.
Good. There is one more. And have you seen this one? This lovely.
Oh, wow. No, I haven't. Oh my God. I want that. Will you send a copy of that?
I will send that over to you. Of course I will.
That is absolutely beautiful. I look really nice in that.
You look really nice anyway. You are a wonderful human being. And I think he wanted to reflect you now, Angela, the actress, and Bambera, all in that one shot.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. Yes, please email me or send me. I must have that for my collection. I might put that in my book. I'll contact him and ask if I can do that. That would be lovely.
I'll send it over to you. One last thing before we go. Do you have a message for all those lovely, lovely members of the Friends of Ace?
Friends of Ace, first of all, I didn't know, my ears should have been burning, that you were having a week dedicated to Brigadier Bambera, and it was a privilege to play that part, and it's an absolute privilege to be part of your week. And thank you very much. And I wish you all the best, and please stay safe. Love you.
Angela, as always, thank you very much indeed. It's been a pleasure. Absolutely. Stay safe. And I will see you soon.
Take care. Love you.
Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye.